Okay, good afternoon everyone and shout out
Good
kay
afternoon.
Arthur na pumasok ngayon. Okay, so ngayon di-discuss natin is auxiliary view, no, which is actually the last lesson of ES1. And again, like yung mga previous na yung mga later sessions natin, I won't be focusing on the parang theory behind it, more of parang thought process lang kung paano sinasolve yung mga certain problems, no. Okay? So, we'll be using the practice sheets from our modules, and let me just prepare them now. By the way, malapit na pala yung release ng MR 5 and 6, which is the last MRs. And hopefully, medyo okay naman yung experience nyo with ES1. Ikaw, Arthur, kumusta naman
For
yung
the
experience?
most part, okay naman. Mahirap lang, tsaka maraming gagawin. Pero,
Yun yung
pero
medyo challenging part, no?
so far, manageable.
Okay, that's good to hear. May mga certain topics ba, Arthur, na nagustuhan mo? Or at least parang na-feel mo yung relevance niya sa eventual field mo?
Yung isometric tsaka sectional view, uh, yung sectional particularly na-feel ko yung relevance niya sa field.
Okay, that's good.
And yung isometric is sometimes relaxing kung hindi masyado confusing yung object.
How about yung pagbaliktad from isometric to multi-view? Or
Yung from isometric to multi-view.
Or equally lang sila sa'yo? Usually ganun, no? Kung yung mga students na magaling mag-ISO to multi-view, the other way around, magaling din sila from multi-view to ISO. ISO to
okay lang din
multi-view.
naman. Pero sometimes nakakaano lang na parang iniisip mo sa sarili mo, what if iba, mali yung pagka-interpret mo ng object. There's a lot of that.
In most cases naman, in the real world, no, hindi naman siya tulad ng mga problems natin. Kasi sometimes, yung mga problems natin kasi gusto namin i-assess yung parang parang spatial awareness. So, minsan, may mga times na pinapahirapan namin yung shape kahit in the real world hindi nyo naman ine-expect yung shape na yun, no? But in the real world, pag in-apply na tong multi-view to isometric, almost all of the time nagme-make sense naman yung object. So kahit may mga features na hindi nyo masyadong nagigets, dahil real world object siya and intuitive yung mga designs, most likely mas masasolve nyo siya kumpara dito sa mga, or relatively easier siya to imagine, no, as compared to the parang abstract shapes na ginagawa natin dito sa ES1. And right now, nagpo-push na rin ang industry to computer aided design. So itong manual na drafting, no, there is a high chance na malapit na to maging obsolete, no. Although the learnings you get here can still be applied to computer aided design, pero I can imagine na in the next few years, no, we will shift away from yung manual drafting onto papunta na tayo sa computer aided design. Yung issue lang, I think I mentioned this in the start of the SEM, no? Parang yung pinaka-issue is hindi equal yung parang opportunities for each student to avail of devices, no, that can do computer aided design. That's why nag-shift back kami sa manual. Kasi there was a strong push for computer aided design na talaga. But unfortunately, dahil sa pandemic, hindi natin magagamit yung mga computer labs na endowment kasi dapat meron kasing new computer lab, no, for the whole engineering. I think this will be, kanino ba ito naka-assign? Nakalimutan ko kung kaninong department siya, pero it's a endowment, no, meant for engineering students. So kung hindi nagka-pandemic, dapat nasa computer labs tayo actually ngayon, no? Tapos computer aided design yung ginagawa natin. Tapos Triple M has its own lab. Kung Triple M students kayo, no, Triple M has its own computer lab. So pwedeng doon tayo mag stay sana. Tapos for the other courses, merong parang ilang pieces pa yun. Basta I remember na medyo madami yun eh. Something like 50 pieces. Tapos very powerful pieces sila. So, which can handle computer-aided design. No? So, sayang na opportunity. Pero again, dahil sa pandemic, nag-revert back tayo sa manual, which is okay lang din naman. The principles taught here are also key in understanding yung mga relationships of planes, yung spatial awareness natin, etc. etc. Okay, welcome, shout out din kay Mark Plata na pumasok din ngayon. Okay, so I've prepared yung mga kailangan natin for today. So pwede na tayo mag-start, no? And let me just show you. Okay, so we'll be doing auxiliary views today. So we'll have several examples. But just to give you an idea, no, if you haven't, good afternoon din, Mark. Just to give you an idea kung ano yung auxiliary view. So auxiliary views are views that are views sa isang isang 3D object that is not necessarily part of the standard view, which is the HRP, PRP, and FRP. So why is it necessary? Because in most cases, if we try to look at a 3D object, no, enough na sa atin na makuha yung HRP, PRP, and FRP, yung primary views natin. No? Yung primary views kasi in layman's term, these are the top view, side view, and the profile view. So in most cases, if you look at those three views, kaya nyo nang ma-imagine yung isang object, no? Or enough na yun para ma-convey sa isang audience, a particular audience, kung ano yung parang shape ng object, ano yung dimensions ng object, etc. So in engineering drawing, almost always, yung three views lang yung importante, no? But there are some cases wherein there are features that we want to expose or we want to highlight that cannot be easily viewed pagka ang ginamit natin is yung primary views lang. So this is where auxiliary views comes into play, no? So usually we want to show a key aspect of that object, but it is inclined in some way. Either it is an inclined plane or it is an oblique plane, no? So it is angled differently, no? But it is kumbaga meron kayong special feature na gusto niyo siyang makita in its true size. Okay? So um if you remember your lesson, no, and maybe I can quiz you both, no, since kayo yung nandito. How do we show the true size of a inclined or an oblique plane or a plane in general? Paano natin siya kinukuha yung true size niya? Naalala niyo pa ba?
Yung a reference plane na parallel sa one of the lines.
Tama, no?
Planes, rather.
Kukuha tayo ng parallel reference plane. Pero dapat yung kukunan natin ng parallel is dapat naka-edge view. Tama? So ang first requirement is that naka-edge view yung plane na yon. Tapos kuha tayo ng parallel na reference plane doon. Nandito din sa Latrell. Welcome, Latrell. And shout out sa iyo for coming in today din.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Okay lang. So, actually, I was joking around with Arthur kanina, no, kasi Arthur yung first na pumasok. Dapat i-end ko na yung session kasi akala ko wala nang papasok. Tapos nung pagbalik ko nakita ko si Arthur, so kaya tinuloy ko yung class. Anyway, etong so you could imagine na if it were an inclined plane, and di ba ang rule natin sa inclined plane, if you remember, is, and welcome Loris to the session.
Hi, sir.
Good afternoon din. If you remember, di ba, pagka inclined siya, one of the views or in an inclined plane, kung meron tayong three primary views, no? Two of those views naka-edge view siya. Tapos yung last view, yun yung naka-shown siya as a plane, no? Not necessarily in its true size, pero naka-show siya as a kumbaga foreshortened view ng plane na yun. Okay? So, since meron tayong edge view nun, if it were inclined, then we can just find that edge view. Tapos, ang gawin natin is draw a parallel reference plane. And then we can expose the true size of that reference plane. And eventually, if we complete all of the views, makikita din natin yung auxiliary view ng object natin with that particular plane in its true size, no? Okay? So, let's do incline first because this is the easier of the two, no? Yung oblique medyo mahirap kasi siya. And obviously, if you notice dito, 'di ba, may three types of planes tayo usually when we talk about isometric drawings. Meron tayong oblique, incline, tapos yung last is yung normal, no? And si normal, this is where in all three views, it is shown as ang normal is when it is parallel to it is parallel to one of the primary reference planes. Tama? So, kung parallel siya sa one of the primary reference planes, then no need to do auxiliary views, no? Because in one of the primary reference planes, naka-expose na yung true size sa kanya. Okay, so that's why auxiliary views is only applicable if you want to expose the true size of either an inclined or an oblique plane. And itong oblique plane, maybe you can now start to imagine, no? So preview lang sa gagawin natin next time, that actually you need two additional na views for oblique planes, no? Because in oblique, wala namang readily available sa atin, walang readily available na edge view among the primary reference planes. Okay, pero we'll show more of that later on, no? So let's start with oblique planes. So let's start with this example. So we are to draw the auxiliary view that will give the true size of the incline pala. So we are to show the true size of the inclined plane shown in this object, no? So we are only given two views, which is enough na, no? Kasi in most of the time, lalo na pag simple shape, two views are enough to give us an imagination of the shape of the object, no? Okay. Ito, object to, you can imagine na para siyang cube, tapos one part of the cube parang sinlice natin, no? May part ng cube na sinlice natin tapos ni-remove, parang ganun yung itsura nito, no? Okay? So, obviously ito yung incline natin, no? Let me Ito yung incline plane. I-trace ko muna ito. This is our inclined plane. Tama? Because it is shown as an edge view in two of the views. If we were to show the, kung ipapakita pa natin yung HRP dito. Tama ba? HRP, no, sorry. It is shown as an edge view in one of the views, no? Okay? So this is our inclined plane. Tama. Pag one edge view, if you remember, one edge view means inclined ka. Two edge views means normal. Tapos zero edge views means na oblique. Tama? This was the discussion before, no? Okay, so dito, if we were to show the PRP, the HRP, dapat ito makikita to as a not as an edge view, no? It is a plane in a shortened na view, no? So itong plane na to, let's just call it plane A, no? And this plane A is actually this plane right here. Wait. This is a side view. Ito siya, itong plane na to. Tama? Nasa likod kumbaga. Okay? So, ito, I think I don't need to draw a sketch of the object, no? Kasi Pico, madali lang siya. Pero sige, let's try to imagine, no? The sketch ng object is something like parang ganyan, no? If this were a 3D object, you'd imagine na ganyan siya. Okay? So parang ang gusto natin mahanap is yung view pagka meron tayong reference plane na naka-orient na ganito. Parang ganyan. So this is the ARP that we are trying to look at para itong plane na to, si plane A, will be now in its true size. Tama? Okay? So to do that, we need to draw a parallel reference plane. Tama? So since A here is an edge view, if we draw a parallel reference plane, dapat ang kalalabasan is we have the true size of A. Tama? And i-remove ko lang to, no? Okay lang. Retain ko lang yan. Okay? So let's draw that. Tapos pwedeng mag-start na tayo to form our ano, no? Okay, so I'll just be doing perpendicular lines. So this is my projection lines. Tapos bubuin ko na yung shape, no? So the first one I'll do is bubuin ko muna sa A, no? Kasi yun yung man importante. So the distance of A, and I can copy the distance from here, no? So since, di ba, ang basis for distances is 2 views away. So this is 1 view. So this is our view of interest. So 2 views away is 1, 2. So dito yung basis ng distances natin. Okay? So yung first distance, so, and I need to, kailangan ko i-connect siya muna, no? Para, wala ko kung saan siya titigil. Let me just reset the view. Okay? Kasi ito, and ito. Okay? So, balik tayo dun sa previous view natin. Okay. So, yung first natin is itong distance na to, no? Let's copy this distance, which is the same distance for this other points. No? Itong point na to, itong point na to. Okay? So, move natin siya. Yan. Somewhere dyan. So, ito, pwede ko nang i-move pa ganyan. So, it takes a bit of practice. Now, you can do this parang methodically. Parang pwede nyong i-label actually yung mga points. So, kunwari, label kayo ng point 1, point 2. So, therefore, ito si nasa likod actually siya. No? So, nasa likod si point 1. Ito si point 2. Then, you can do 3 and 4. Tapos, pwede nyo i-label to as 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pwede ganyan, no? So, this is 2, 7, 8, 5. Sabi ko 3. Anong sabi ko dito? This is 1. So, pwede ganyan. 1, 2, tapos 5. Ito. So, pwede ganyan yung approach nyo, no? Tapos, hanapin nyo na lang yung points. Some students, lalo na yung mga, yung medyo nahihirapan sa parang yung 3D reorientation ng isang object in their minds alone, no? Pagka ganun, if you're one of those students na medyo nahihirapan talaga, I imagine you can do this approach, no? Yung methodical yung approach, no? You label each point, tapos point for point, ihanapin nyo siya dito sa ano. Kasi essentially, para siyang ano lang, no? Transferring lines and points into a different view. And since may basis ka naman sa distances, then you can plot all of those points dito sa view na yun. Kasi ito, this is the view you're looking at. 2 views away will be the basis for the distances of those different points. Okay? Pero if you practice many times, no, parang it becomes natural to you kung paano yung parang reorientation ng object na to. So the way I always like to think about it is para siyang I want to imagine my object, tapos ang ginagawa ko is what would happen if this object were rotated na pa ganun. Parang ganyan. So i-rotate ko siya in such a way na makikita ko tong view na to. So pag nag-rotate yan ng ganyan, dapat nandito parang I should be able to see it something like that, no? So readily na-imagine ko na okay, alam ko na kung ano yung magiging orientation niya. In my mind, meron akong expectation of what it looks like. So ang kailangan ko na lang is to copy distances that are relevant to me. Okay, so it always helps if you already can imagine the object, no? Because it makes the process a lot easier. Okay? So ito, I won't be doing the point method, no? Because sometimes nalilito din ako sa itong mga point method kasi parang mahirap i-keep track yung mga different points, no? Labels. But again, if you're one of those na mas nadadalian sa ganong method, then by all means you can do that method as well, no? Okay? So ito, ang kailangan ko i-copy naman is itong distance na to, no? Itong larger distance. Itong sa malayo para may basis ako sa saan ko ba minasya ito? From the reference plane. Okay. So measure it from the reference plane. Okay. Should be somewhere here. And kailangan ko palang ibalik. It's good enough. Okay. So ito na yung, actually, if I think about it, ito na yung magiging final answer ko, no? Because this is my A. Tama? Ito kasi yung plane A ko. Tapos, may kulang pa ako. I need to show the hidden lines, no? Ito, meron pa dito, no? So, this is the hidden line from the back. Itong edge na to. Yung corner na yan. So, ito siya. Okay? So, if I were to do the final answer, then I should end up with something like, I'll do this in white to indicate na ito yung final answer ko. Yan. Tapos ito, plane A. This is plane A. Ang kulang natin is itong line na to, which is a hidden line kasi nasa likod siya. So, I'll just be okay. So, yan yung magiging final answer ko. Okay, which is parang what I would expect, no? Dun sa parang initial imagination ko. So, yung initial imagination ko kasi is ganito, no? Tapos ito, binyo ko to ARP. So, if this were parang translated pa ganyan, then definitely ang makikita ko is dapat parang ganito, no? May plane A ako, tapos kita ko rin tong plane na to. Let's just label this as plane, B kunwari, tapos ito plane C. So, kita ko dapat si plane B dito, this plane B and plane C. Tama? Tapos naka-edge view tong if I were to label this as plane D, tapos yung opposite plane niya dito sa kabila, let's just label it as plane E, kunwari. So, ito si plane D, naka-edge view. D is in edge view. Tama? Tapos ito si plane E in its edge view as well. Tapos dito sa FRP, ito actually si plane D. A is in edge view, B is also in edge view, C is in edge view. Dito sa portion na to, nasa likod na si A ngayon. B, this is still B. Si C is eto nasa likod din, no? Sa likod ng view na to. And etong plane na nakikita ko dito ngayon, eto siya, itong buong to. This is actually yung nasa likod na part, no? So let's EF, let's say label it as F, no? So ito actually siya, no? Itong F na to, which is in its edge view dito sa view na to, edge view siya. Therefore, ito actually si F, no? Itong buong to. No, again, si A and C is nasa likod. Tapos, eventually, ito maging D, ito yung E, edge view as well. Okay? So, yun. This is a fairly easy example. No? So, if I remove the broken lines, maging ganyan siya. And dapat pala, remove ko na lang. Sige, okay lang. Okay? So, ganyan. So, that's how you do auxiliary view. And again, we can also label the, we forgot to label. Let's label natin to. This is ARP. And this is our FRP. Okay? So that's for a simple shape, no? Exposing plane A to be its true size, and we can also indicate na this is in its true size, no? Pwede nating lagyan na ganyan. Indicate na ito yung plane na naka-true size in this particular ARP. Okay? Okay, so let's do another example. And this one probably more complicated, pero not still not as complicated as yung mga, I would imagine mas complicated pa yung plates nyo, no? Okay? So again, ito, two views lang. Kaya na natin ma-imagine siya. And before I start doing auxiliary views, always I make it a point na parang i-drawing ko muna yung sketch niya kasi the sketch will really help me a lot, no? So ito, if I were to do it, we can see na meron siyang ano, no? Parang incline dito. So itong incline na to, ito actually siya. Ito, let's just say plane A ulit yan. Ito siya. Pero naka L-shape siya, no? Kasi parang tinanggal yung buong parang isang block dito, no? Dito sa side na to, which gives me this plane here. Tama? So if I were to draw it, para siyang would look something like ganyan siguro. Okay. Wait lang. Tama ba to? Parang ganyan, no? Okay, this is what I imagine it to be. So ito, naka-incline siya, no? Inclined yung plane A natin. So, tapos gusto natin i-expose siya. So if I were to expose this, dapat yung reference plane ko should be parallel to it, no? So this is my reference plane. So again, this is an inclined plane. So madali lang. We can expose it by just doing a auxiliary reference plane dito sa side na to. Okay? So to give us more space, gawin ko, hindi ko i-dedicate such as tulad nito, no? Kasi I think relatively large naman yung area na I can work with. So pwedeng gawin ko is I'll give it some breathing room, no? So first, gawin natin is we create a auxiliary reference plane. So somewhere here siguro. Ganyan. Okay. Tapos we draw our lines, no? Ito. Yan. Tapos dire-diretso siya. We'll also be needing this line. Tama? Kasi ito yung sa naging hidden line siya sa likod. Tapos we'll be needing this as well. Because we want to draw this part, no? Kailangan natin drawing kasi ito. So we'll be extending this line as well, no? So again, first step is drawing ano muna, no? Yung parang initial na you can also do an initial glass box, no? Parang that could also help you para mas magawa ng mabilis tong problem na to. Pero right now, hindi ko na kailangan yung glass box, no? So ididiretso ko na siya. So first is kailangan ko yung edge na to. So gusto ko lang makita tong ano, no, kung gaano siya kalayo from here. So I'll be just copying this distance, and nakalimutan ko ulit. Before I do that, kailangan ko munang lagyan ng ano, no? Lagyan natin ng projection lines. Dito. To. So be careful lang sa pag nag-ano kayo ng projection lines. Minsan, kung nag-overlap sila, malilito kayo kung saan galing yung mga projection lines. So, okay. So first, kunin muna natin yung kung gaano siya kalayo from here, no? Itong reference plane na to, which is actually itong distance na to. Tama? So let's move that here. Gawin natin is we just draw a parallel line to the reference plane. Okay. Okay, so yan, ito na siya. Tapos yung kung gaano naman yung ka-extent, kung gaano kalayo yung dapat siya dito sa edge na to, no? So that will be taken from yung distance from this reference plane or folding line up to the farthest end, no? Parang ganyan. Ito madali lang kasi, again, parang in essence, parang cube pa rin siya, no? Para siyang cube na may mga parts lang na kinot off. If you can imagine that. So, isa din yung strategy class, no? Minsan, ganun ko siya ini-imagine pag may object ako nakikita. Usually, in-imagine ko siya as if kung cube siya, cube or rectangular prism, tapos tinitingnan ko lang ano yung mga parts na parang shinave off to produce that shape. Parang ganun. So, if it were a real world operation, parang you started off with kunwari, block of metal, tapos gumamit kang ng CNC machine para i-carve out yung shape or kung kumbaga subtractive na machining process, no? Para i-carve out yung mga different na portions that you want, and eventually once you finish with the machining, you end up with a shape. Parang ganun ko siya in-imagine. So I imagine na cube siya, nagsimula siya as cube, tapos tinanggal ko tong part na to, tinanggal ko rin yung part na to, parang minachine ko pa ganun, tapos diniscard ko. So parang I find na in my experience, no, I find that imagining it as na ganon, it really helps me to parang imagine it in space, no? So or parang mas madali sa akin na mahanap yung mga edge views, yung mga different planes na available, etc., etc. So maybe it could help you as well, no? So if you're having a hard time coming up with your own strategy, maybe you can use that strategy, no? Okay? So I've essentially parang ganun yung ginawa ko, no. Parang ginawa ko dito is actually parang binuo ko muna yung glass box. If you really think about it, no. Parang ganun yung ginawa ko. Glass box muna, tapos from the glass box tsaka ako mag-drawing ng shape. Okay? So let me first do this, no. Itong plane na to. Kasi feel ko madali siyang gawin and baka maging problematic siya in the future kung hindi ko siya in-address agad. So I'll just label this as kunwari B kunwari, no. If you're doing this, hindi naman necessary class, no, na i-label siya yung mga planes nyo. And in fact, ako when I do this sorts of problems, hindi ko na nililabel yung mga planes ko. Pero for illustration ngayon, no, para lang mas madabilis nating ma-refer yung different planes, i-label ko na lang siya. Okay? Tapos, pero sa inyo, kung kunwari you find that labeling planes also helps your workflow, then by all means, label your planes. No? Okay? So itong plane B na to, I want to find this. No? So ito siya. Pero gaano siya kalayo dito? Or up to what extent siya up to what extent ako magdodraw ng line papunta dyan. Okay? So, dito I can see na mag-extend siya up to the midway point. No? Parang ganyan. So, this is the line we are looking at. So, ito. Mag-extend siya na ganyan. And let me just use a different color. No? Sigurong yellow. Okay. Tapos extend ko siya. Ay, sorry. Nawala pala. No, sorry. Mali yung placement ko. Dapat hanggang dyan lang. Kasi I started from the reference plane. No? Okay. So, I should extend it up to here. Huh? That's my first na no. Tapos I want to be able to draw this entire B plane, no? So, ito siya, B, and I want to draw this parts, no? Ito naman yung drawing ko, ito and itong line na to. So, I just drop this down up to dito. Tama? Kasi this is the parang point view of the line that produces this plane, no? Itong line na to. So, ito yung hinanap ko ngayon, class. Ito. So, this is the point view. So, mag-end siya dyan. So, if I complete this na pag ganyan, this will be my plane B, no? Okay? So, So ito siya, si plane B. So I have my plane B. Ngayon, I can do plane A naman. No? And if I do plane A, essentially susunod na lahat ng mga other lines and planes. No? Okay? Kasi dito sa view na to, if I can imagine it, ang makikita ko lang dapat is itong A na to, itong B na to, and probably, let's just say, C. So we can also look at this plane C right here. No? Yun lang yung visible sa atin. Tapos all other lines magiging edge view or nasa likod, naka-hidden siya. Okay? So ito, if, tagalin natin to. Itong A, extend, this is, ito yung parang bounding lines para sa plane A. No? So hanggang dito lang siya. So therefore, ito actually, itong line na to from here to here, yan yung itong top part ng A. No? Sa ito, pababa, if I draw it all the way down, that is itong line na to. Tapos, just complete it. Ito siya. And ito, this is plane A. Tama? So, si plane C, if I just move it upwards, pag ganyan, ito to the right, downwards. This is plane C. Okay? Tapos, lastly, drawing natin tong broken line, which is this one. Okay? So, later, drawing natin yan. So, let's do the final answer and I'll use white to indicate the final answer siya and darken it a bit. So, let's do from here, drawing natin, pababa. Dito, move natin to the right. Ito, sambo siya. This one. Ito, up, then this line to this line. And lastly, hindi pa pala last. Ito, tapos itong line na to. And ang kulang na lang natin is yung broken line. No? So let's do the broken lines. So, and I can just erase it. No? Okay. So yun yung magiging final answer ko. And if I remove the guidelines, no? So ito siya. And I could say also, ito true size to. Just to indicate na ito yung naging true size dahil sa paggawa ko ng auxiliary reference plane. Okay? Tapos lagyan natin ang ARP and this is my FRP. Okay? So relatively easy, no? Parang kaya naman. True size. So again, simple examples na to. And hopefully it gives you an idea na kung paano. And most of the time naman class, no, when we are doing this, yung auxiliary reference view, usually nakikita naman natin na parang nagme-make sense yung shape, kumbaga. Lalo na pag na-imagine nyo yung, kumbaga ito, no? If you already imagine this, pagka ginawa nyo tong auxiliary reference plane, yung auxiliary view, I mean, parang nagre-register sa inyo na, nga, yung shape na to nagme-make sense para sa akin. Para talagang naikot ko siya in space, tapos ito dapat yung nakikita ko. Okay? If, for example lang, ginawa nyo siya, tapos parang na-feel nyo na may something off sa kanya, parang hindi siya nagme-make sense, posible na baka may something wrong talaga sa ginawa nyo. So, it's good na indicator na maybe you have to check some of your lines, no, if it makes sense or not. Okay? Pero if I were to ask your opinion, ngayon na nakita nyo yung final answer, nakikita nyo ba siya in space na parang inikot talaga siya? Would you say na parang nagme-make sense siya or not? Thumbs up or yes or no para mag-agree or disagree?
May make sense naman po, sir.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So thank you for the feedback, no? So yun, again class, lalo na sa mga sectional view, auxiliary view, multi-views, usually nakakatulong talaga if you imagine it and if you try to determine if it makes sense or not, no? Parang yun yung isa sa strategies ko talaga, no? Does this object make sense? Once na na-drawing ko na siya. If hindi siya nagme-make sense, then it doesn't really, kung hindi nagme-make sense yung drawing nyo, hindi naman necessarily, Loriz mentions na parang it makes sense pero slow lang yung imagination nyo. So, careful lang din kayo kasi posible na hindi nagme-make sense yung for you, hindi nagme-make sense pero tama pala yung sagot nyo. It just means na kung hindi nagme-make sense sa inyo, kung at first glance hindi siya nagme-make sense, it just means na baka worthwhile na i-review nyo yung object. Parang ganoon lang yung parang test na to. Pero hindi necessarily na ibig sabihin na dahil hindi nag-make sense, baka mali yung ginawa ko, burahin ko na lahat. Parang it just means na baka kailangan kong i-review yung certain lines, ano yung mga hindi nagpa-make sense sa kanya. Try kong i-review siya and how can I kumbaga redo the work to have it make sense in a way. Parang ganun. Okay? So let's do other examples, no? We have plenty of time left. Pwede pa tayo do more examples. Sectional view pala to. Okay. Eto. So let's try this one because this one is not a inclined plane. No, this is actually an oblique plane. So it's a good example. And let me just copy my compass dito. Okay. Okay, let's do this one. So we are to find the oblique plane. So we are to draw the auxiliary view that will give us the true size of the oblique plane. So ito medyo matrabaho to class no kasi we'll do two additional views actually, no? Kasi again, I mentioned na pag oblique siya, you have actually zero views in the primary views that is to say, no? There are zero edge views among the primary views. Okay? So if you notice, ano yung plane na yun? Let's label it as plane. Let's label it as plane O, kunwari. Let me tighten. Okay? Ito. Itong plane na to, right here, ito murang four-sided na object or plane, no? This plane A here also appears in this view and it also appears in this view, no? So there is no view that shows it in its edge view. Okay? So since that's the case, magiging oblique plane siya. Sabi ko pala, label natin siya as plane O, no? So plane O yung gagamitin natin. Plane O for oblique. Okay? So this is our plane. So if you want to show it in its edge view, yung first requirement is dapat ipakita muna natin siya as an edge view. Tama? Yun yung first requirement. If you can show it to be in its edge view, then sa next view, pwede natin ipakita yung true size sa kanya. Okay? So what's the easiest way to do that? No? And by the way, before we start doing that, no, again, it helps to imagine the object. Just draw a rough sketch. No? Itong object na to, I'm imagining ito actually normal. Tapos, so nandito siya. So ito, this is also normal. Tapos ito is normal. And I'm doing this to make it as easy as possible, no? So this is an inclined plane. Tama ba? Will make sense ba yun? Tama, mag-make sense na mas inclined to. And ito normal din. Okay? So ito yung inclined. Inclined, and this is the edge view of that inclined. Okay? I think that's the easiest imagination for this object, no? So if you were to draw it para siyang ganito. Yan. Tapos, it's inclining downwards. Ng ganyan. Tapos, this is the oblique plane of interest. This one, ganyan siya. Tapos, meron siyang normal produced by that oblique plane. Tapos, and okay, bring down ko to siya ng ganyan. So, follow natin yung lines. Parang ganito yung na-imagine ko, no? Okay? So again, ito rough sketch lang siya, no? But hopefully, and para lang mas no, pretty ano ko konti. I-true to size ko siya konti. Yan. Okay? So, na-imagine nyo? Yung na-imagine ko? Do we have the same imagination?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. So, parang ganito siya, no? So, if we were to show this oblique plane, dapat parang pag ganyan yung reference plane natin, no? Or parang nakaganito, no? Yung auxiliary reference plane natin para makita tong oblique na to in its true size. Ito yung hinahanap natin na view. And to do that, first we have to look at the edge view of this oblique O, no? Tapos saka tayo magpa-parallel. Okay? So, we have, meron bang ano dito? Naka-true size? Kasi yun yung kailangan natin, no? If we have a true size, then pwede tayong mag-point view. And again, if you remember, if a line is part of a plane and it is shown in its point view, then the plane will become an edge view as well, no? Okay? So, ano yung pinakamadali? I think yung easiest is this one, no? Because this line here and also this line is parallel to this reference plane. Therefore, this one is a true length. Tama? Itong dalawang to, true length to. So we can do point view. Pero I'm thinking if may enough space pa siya. So isa din yun sa challenging part dito sa ano, no, auxiliary views pagka meron tayong oblique planes. Kasi since you'll be doing 2 additional views, you have to think about where your views will end up, no? And if you have enough space to do them. Okay, so if ito yung ginawa natin, enough pa siya. Because we can also do, tama ba? We can also do this one, no? Kasi ito actually true length din kasi to. Tama? Kung true length to, this is parallel to this line and this line is this one, no? Parallel kasi siya sa reference plane na to. Therefore, true length din yung dalawang lines na to in this particular view. So, pwedeng kasi kung dito tayo, mag-work tayo dito, somewhere dyan. And baka pwede mag-transition yun into somewhere dito. Which will give us more space. May chance, no, na more space siya. So, sige, kayo yung ipapa-decide ko. Saan nyo gusto mag-work around tayo based on parang mga experience nyo sa plates nyo. Would you want me to go HRP or PRP? Ano na lang, yes for HRP, thumbs up for PRP. PRP, maraming nag-PRP, no? Okay, so let's do PRP. I think that's also a good decision, no? Mukhang yan yung magbibigay. Pero since may Photoshop naman to, no? So if ever mali yung decision natin, pwede ko naman i-expand na lang yung yung space natin. But I think PRP is a good choice, no? So good choice, class. So let's do PRP. So ang gawin natin is edge view muna natin yung mga true length, no? So to edge view, para maging edge view siya, ang kailangan natin is to draw a auxiliary reference plane that is perpendicular to the true length. Okay? So we have our true lengths here. Span natin. And nakalimutan ko naman i-connect. Pwede siguro i-connect ko na lang. Connect. This one and this one. Okay. Tapos ito, connect natin. So most of the time, class, no? Kaya before you start doing parang yung auxiliary views, most of the time parang it's good practice na i-connect nyo siya. Although sometimes naging bad idea siya kasi may times na hindi pala siya kailangan no. Kumbaga hindi nyo kailangan pala yung basis ng distance na yun. So parang dinumihan nyo lang yung work nyo. Pero lalo na if you parang mahirap kasi na pabalik-balik tayo sa paano, no, yung pag-work on the different views. So, it's good practice na i-connect nyo na lang diretso kasi most of the time naman, since we are completing all views, like this one, like this example problem, no, where we are to complete all views as well, then most likely kailangan mo talaga yung distances of all the points. So good practice na i-connect mo na agad. Okay, so this is our ARP1. Tapos let's show this in its edge view and show it in its edge view. Kailangan natin yung compass, no? Okay. So first, kunin natin yung distance na to. So sa simula, I'll be strictly working on the oblique plane lang. Okay, so i-isolate ko siya as if hindi nag-exist yung iba. Okay. And in this case, no, ako at least for me, parang nahihirapan akong parang mag-rely on imagination alone, no. So in this particular case, I'll be probably parang doing a more methodical approach, no, na parang point by point ko siya hahanapin. Okay? So ito siya. Kung iikot ko siya ng ganyan, I'll be actually viewing it from galing sa likod, no? So parang if I were to draw it, parang pag ganito actually yung first view na ginagawa natin. Parang ganyan. Ano ko lang, no? Tas perpendicular to. Okay? Ito. So parang ganito yung tinitingnan natin view. So hindi siya pangit yung drawing ko, no? Pero let me redraw that and I'll move this to the side. Yung ARP1 na ginagawa natin ngayon is actually along this side, no? Parang ini-expose natin yung view na to. Ito siya. This is actually ARP1. Tapos ito si ARP2, which we will eventually lead, no? So si ARP1, if i-project natin tong plane na to, it will actually give us an edge view. Parang ganyan. So and from that edge view, gagawa na tayo ng ARP2 which will give us the ganyan siguro siya. Yeah. And from that edge view, we can have the ARP2 which shows its true size. Okay? So, ganito siya. So, we'll keep that in the back of our minds, no? Kasi parang iniikot kasi natin yung object in space. So, eventually, if we end up with an object dito on auxiliary view, dapat it should make sense na we are viewing it from this reference plane. No? So, dapat ang line of sight natin is pa ganyan. So medyo likod ng object yung tinitingnan natin. No? If this is the front of the object, parang nasa likod tayo nakatingin. Okay? So, tingnan natin kung tama yung prediction natin. No? Okay, so I'll do a more methodical approach dito, no? So this is true length, naka-point view tong eto, no? Sorry. Tama. Etong line na to naka-point view na siya. Should I label? Mas maganda ba i-label natin? Sige, label natin 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just label it as 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 2, 1, 3, and 4. Tapos dito, this is 2, 1. Sorry. This is 1. Tapos 4. Tapos ito si 3 and 2. Okay? So again, we're working on this view that therefore ang basis natin for distances is this view, no? So that's 1, 2, 2 views away. Okay? So ito, this is 2, 1 shown in its point view. Tama? That's 2, 1 shown in its point view. Tapos let's do 3, 4. No, sorry. Tama. 2, 1. No, sorry. Bakit ganito yung ano ko? 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, ito dapat si 1. Bakit? Sorry. Kaya pala nalito ako. 1, 2, and this is 3, 4. Tama. Sorry for the confusion, class. So, dito, tama nga na 1 to. This is 2. And this is 3 and 4. Okay. So, ito, this is not 2, 1. Tama. This is 2, 1. Pero itong kabila, this is 3, 4, no? And let's copy the distance of 3, 4. No, sorry. Hindi ito yung distance ni 2, 1, no? 2, 1 is farther away. Ito yung distance ni 3, 4. Okay, so let's, okay. Ito dapat si point view ng 3, 4 in its point view. Tapos kunin natin si 2, 1, no? In its point view. 2, 1 is this distance away, no? So, to draw this point view na si 2, 1 in its point view. If I connect that, yan yung edge view ni O, no? This is plane O in its edge view. Okay? So, naka-edge view na si O. Then, we can begin to, let me just make sense of this, no? 3, 4, 2, 1. So, nakatingin ako sa medyo likod. Okay, sige. So, let's complete the shape, no? Because hindi natin magagawa yung ARP2 if we weren't showing all the other views left, no? Okay? Dapat pala minove ko konti si ARP. Actually, pwede ko i-move, no? Ngayon, kasi I'm using Photoshop class now, so I can freely move my views kasi feel ko, kasi kaya ko minimove class kasi if I were to do it here, so dito yung ARP2 ko most likely and tatama ako dito. Okay? So, para ano yun, gawin ko is I'll move this shape dito and it wouldn't affect my answer, no? Tama? Kasi yung basis naman ng distance na to is based on this distance. Okay? So, ang magbabago actually is yung ARP2 kasi ang magiging basis na ng ARP2 is this distance from here to here. So, ito mas hahaba siya. Pero the way I did it nung minove ko lang siya to the right, hindi siya makaka-affect sa whatever answer I have here already. Tama? Ito, let me just connect it again. Okay? So, I hope that makes sense, no? Yung sinabi ko. Okay, so again, I moved it para pag gumawa ko eventually dito, may konting space ako dito sa part na to. Kasi pag ganito yung incline niya kasi or yung angle niya. Okay, so we did O. Plane O is in its edge view. Tapos kompletuhin na lang natin to, no? So let's do ito. Same, okay, same lang yung ano niya. Projection line. Tapos let's do projection lines here. Tapos 3, 4, kailangan natin tong point na to, no? So, parang hinahanap ko ay bubuin ko tong normal plane na to. Okay? Because that will give me a good picture of what it looks like now. Okay? Itong point na to is this point right here. Okay? So, we'll do this. Dito siya. Tapos, so this is actually parallel siya, no? Kasi same siya na distance ito sa 3, 4. So I'm viewing it pag ganon. So yung likod dapat nakikita ko, no? So ito. Dapat square lang makikita ko. Pero kita dapat itong plane na to. Tama? Edge view kasi siya. So kita pa to. Ito. Itong line na to. Ito yung hanapin natin next. So itong line na to is actually this line, no? Itong line na to. And this line is the edge view of this plane. Okay? Okay. Since nasa likod nga pala. Hindi na pala siya kita. Kumbaga magiging ano na siya? Hidden lines na siya. Pero sige, let's continue, no? Should I have connected it? Medyo nalilito na rin ang class na. So, it would help if i-label ko na lang 6, 7 to. So, 6, 7. So, this is 6 and 0.7. Sorry. 6, 7 dito si 7, 6. So, 3, 4, and 7 are in this line, no? Pati 7 nasa likod, kumbaga. Okay? Sige, tuloy lang natin, no? Lower ko yung opacity kasi na ano ko class. Naduduling ako. Ito, hanapin natin to. Okay. Nasa likod, banda. So, hanapin natin tong plane na to. Itong nasa likod. Ito yung makakatulong sa atin, no? If we just draw the back part of the cube. Okay, so if we were to draw the back part of the cube, kailangan natin itong distances na to, no? Ito and ito. So let's draw that. And we draw it the edge. Ito. 1. Okay. That's this one. Tapos draw natin siya na ganyan. Okay. Kasi naka-edge view siya pero buo pala to ganyan. Okay. I now imagine. Sa view na to, kumbaga broken line si edge view pala dito. Parang ganyan. Kasi naharangan siya sa likod. Tama, itong likod na plane na to, and let's call this likod na plane as ano, no? Let's just say plane B for back. So itong back plane na to, ito, pag pinroject natin siya pa ganyan dito sa ARP1 natin, we'll notice na nakaharang siya sa edge view ni plane O. So dapat ano siya? Tama. Wait na class ha? Does that make sense? Parang hindi yata. Kasi kailangan natin. Ito si 0.3. Sige, marang mukhang kahit ako nalilito na. No? So, gawin natin methodical approach na lang din. So, we have to label all the points. No? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 7, 6. Let's call this 0.8. Sa harap, 0.8 and 0.9. So, kung 0.8 and 0.9 to, this is 1 and 4. So, meron pang isang point dito, no? 7, 8, 9. May 0.10 pa dito, no? Which is nasa harap ni 0.4. Which is nandito siya. 0.10. So, si 0.1 kasi nasa gitna banda. So, may 9. Kumbaga 9. Sige, if I were to arrange it in the order that it appears, no? So, itong point na to magiging 10, 10, 1, and 9. 10 yung pinakauna, 1, then 9. So that's 10, 1, and 9. Ito, this is supposed to be 7 and 8. Mas malapit si 8. So this is 7 and 8. Ito, this is 0.6, which is nasa likod siya, no? Okay. So we have 10, 1, 9, 2, and 3, 4, 7, and 8, and 6. Tapos ito, incline to, no? Ito yung incline natin. So this incline is, anong last number natin? 10. We have 11. So itong 11, this point 11 is, collinear siya with 2, no? And it's in the point view. So 2 and 11 nandito. Okay? So the incline is actually made out of 1, 2, 9, and 11. So that's 1, 2, 9, and 11. Okay, makes sense. Okay. Tapos ito, made up of those 3, 4. This is 0.10 and 0.7. 0.10 and 0.7, no? Because 6 is at the back, which is this point right here. Tama? So ito kalas medyo matrabaho, no, pag methodical approach yung ginamit natin. Pero less likely magkakaroon ng mistakes. So we have 10, 7, 4, 3, and 6. Tapos we do 0.11 is inclined. So dito siya 11, 1 to 11, and 9. Which is also the location of 0.8, no? Tama? Kasi itong normal na to, si 9, 8, 7, 10, 7, 4, 7, 10 is made out of this edge view right here. 9, 10, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Ito normal, this is normal na naka-edge view dito. So that's 11 to 3. Hindi pa natin i-label. Kulang tayo na isa pa. So let's do 0.12 to. 0.12 is this one. And we'll probably need the back, so 13, which is yung bottom sa glass box natin, no? So this is actually 8, 13. So dito, nandito din si 13. 6, 13. So nasa likod na sila kumbaga. Okay, so medyo madaming points class, no? Let's try to do this. So 3 connects with 6. So let's find 6. 6 is here. So tama lang. 3 and 6 should connect. Tapos 3. Is 3 actually connected to 6? Tama. So I'm trying, what I'm doing here class now is I'm trying to look at the, kumbaga, yung plane by plane ko siya tinitingnan. So I'm trying to look at this, itong back plane, itong plane B. It's 3, 6, 12, and 13. So we have 3, 6, 12 is this one. Because 12 is projected dito. 12 should be at the back. So 3 and 12. Ito, dito si 12. Tama ba? It's at the back. No? So 12 nandito. Okay, so ito si 12 is, ito siya. This is point 12. So 3, 3, and 6. We already found 6, which is this one. 3, 6, 12, and 13. So ito si 13. Okay, so mayroong line dito. So meron siyang, ito yung parang back plane natin, B. So it's at an angle wherein kita si B. So kita tong plane na to sa taas. Okay, which means na itong plane na nakikita natin ngayon, itong trapezoid na to, na parang four-sided na half trapezoid ba tawag dyan? Hindi ko maalala kung anong pangalan. Is actually this plane right here, no? Ito siya. Itong normal na to. So let's just say normal 1 to. So this is actually normal 1. Yan nandito. This is normal 1. Okay? Medyo sakto kasi lahat. Nag-align kasi lahat ko. Parang yung glass box ko is buhin ko na yung glass box ko, no? Para hindi ako mahirapan. I'll just do this point. Okay? Pagbuhin natin siya. Dapat. Did I make a mistake? Tama naman, no? Okay. So this is the, again class, this is a challenge of auxiliary views. Kasi kailangan talaga ng an exuberant amount of time, no, para layout nyo lahat ng mga points tapos i-determine nyo kung nasaan yung points na yun. And right now, I want to continue, no, pero kaya something that hinders me in continuing is that hindi ko nakikita yung mga planes na dapat kong makita, no. For example, ito, I'm looking for this plane right here. Itong, if I could call this as normal 2, no. Itong normal 2 to. Itong normal 2, hindi ko siya nakikita at all. And there is no way na makikita ko siya dito sa view na to. Unless, of course, naka-edge view siya, no? So, yun yung medyo dilemma ko ngayon. Kasi hindi siya kita at all dito, no? So, one of its line, itong 3-4 line. So, let me, 3-4. Itong 3-4 line is this one. Naka-edge view. So, that probably explains kung bakit hindi siya kita. Okay, si 3-4 is in its point view. Okay, gets. Kasi 3-4, if it were to project it, since 3-4 it's in its point view, dito sa, ano na to, sa view na to, point view siya. Therefore, itong buong to, itong N2, is also in this edge view na, no? So, kaya siguro hindi siya nakikita. Okay. So, ito siya. Itong buong to. This is N2. Naka-edge view lang si N2 dito. Okay? Before I proceed, no? I just want to cover all the bases last, no? So, parang medyo slightly sa taas pala, no? Na in a way, nakita tong N2. Edge view to. Parang ano pala. Pag ganyan, mali pala yung ano ko. Initial na. Kaya siguro. Okay. Gets. Mali tong ginawa kong ano, no? Parang imagination ng ARP. Kaya, okay. Kaya ako nahihirapan. So, kayo class, you can proceed with methodical approach, tapos pwede actually na hindi kayo magano, no, tumigil to check if it makes sense. Pero ako, my strategy is, and you can apply this strategy if you want, no, is parang before you proceed with all the with the completion of the lines, parang i-check nyo muna if nagme-make sense. So may stop, may checkpoints kayo kumbaga. So ako, this is my first checkpoint, tapos before I want to complete the object itself, parang I'm already determining na merong mga problematic na ano, no, na points ako which I'm not comfortable parang proceeding without um parang correcting them first. So kaya gusto ko na i-correct ko muna to, no. So pag ganyan kasi siya. Okay. Ito yung edge view na to. So yung ano natin, parang ganyan yung ARP dapat. Yung first ARP natin is something like this. So dito, sakto na magla-line up to. Okay? Itong si 1 at si which point is this? 1 and 4. Magla-line up siya. Aba, 1, 2, 3, 4 kasi ito. So kaya hindi siya kita. So ito, this is 3, 4 and this is 2, 1, no? So nandito siya ngayon. So that's 1, 4. 3, 4 I mean. So dapat ito, this should be shown, no? Somewhere dito. Or somewhere dito. So where is this point right here? Ito si point. This is point 10. Tama? This is point 10. Si point 10. Have I shown point 10? Ayun. Point 10 should be here. So dapat meron pa dito. Because point 10 is here. Okay? Okay, so let me reassess now. Kung yan sa point 10, this is point 10, no? So this is point 10, and point 10 is located here. Okay. So should it appear above or below? Ano ulit yung backplane natin? Hindi involved yung 10, no? Okay. So ito siya, itong triangle na to. So hindi, tama lang pala class na solid line to, hindi to ano. So itong triangle na to, this is 2, 4, 10. Tama? 1, 1, 4, 10, I mean. So ito, this is 1, 4, 10. This triangle right here. Ito. Itong N, and let's call this N3, no? Ito, N3 siya. Okay, so ito siya, N3. I think we should have completed it, no? Ang kulang na lang is, so let me remove this, no? Kasi wala naman siyang, wala dapat akong makikita dito. Tapos after, you see 10, ito, let's look for this plane right here. This is 10, 9, 8, and si 7 ba nasa harap or 6? Si 6 nasa likod. So this is 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 7 is here. Tama? 7, 10. Nasaan si 8? Okay. So dito rin si 8. So now where is 9? 9 is located here. So nandito si 9. Okay. So itong plane pala na to class. Itong N na to. So let's call this N4. N4 na tayo, diba? Kasi ito N3 to. So si N4 is shown in its edge view dito. N4. Okay, so ito yung mga cases class no na I think I have the final answer na pero it doesn't make sense to me. Parang hindi masyadong apparent yung shape niya, no? Probably because of the orientation. Pero let me just try to finalize the answer. So I'll highlight it in white. So parang ganito yung parang answer ko. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so burahin ko muna class, no? So ito yung magiging parang reorientation of the shape. And right now, I can't readily parang say with confidence na ito nga yung tamang orientation niya in this auxiliary view because parang kumbaga hindi ko nakikita yung pag-ikot niya in a way. Pero this could likely very well be the final answer. So or the correct answer, no? And we could proceed from here pero if it's okay with you class, pwede nating mag-mull over muna tayo, no, kung tama ba siya. So kayo, so for those who are present here, do you see the na parang this is the correct parang reorientation of this object in the ARP space? Or medyo na nyo, may doubts din ba kayo?
I can see it both ways, sir.
Parang may satisfied ba or parang may kulang? Wala naman po sir. Lateral
I
says
think
wala
tama
na siya.
naman.
Arthur says okay na siya. Pwede siguro, no? I think we can proceed. Yung triangle sa likod, sir, napapaisip lang ako. Kailan. Yung triangle sa likod. O, you mean, eto, N3? N3 triangle ba? Yung medyo nag-ano ako, nag-aalangan, no, is that, kasi if it were a full box, no, kung i-drawing ko yung glass box niya, dapat mag-extend siya up to here, no? Parang ganito. So, this is my, one of my, class, no? Kaya ako nagdadalawang isip. Kasi kung full glass box to, parang may ganyan dapat siya. Hanggang dito siya. Pero parang nagtataka ko kung bakit yung buong part na to, totally nabura siya sa, sa object na to. Kasi if I were to look at the side view dito, if I were to make a, no, parang isa pang view, parang ganito kasi yan eh. Let me extend. Para lang makita nyo where I'm coming from, no? So, eto class, if I were to, okay. So, ganito siya. Ito, no, parang ganyan. If you can imagine. Ito siya, yung side view ng glass box na to. Nagigets nyo ba? So, kung titingnan nyo yung glass box na to from this view, para pa ganyan. Ito yung makikita nyo dapat pa ganyan. So, ito, sakto na nag-line up tong likod na line na to with this visible line, which is this one. Kaya ang nakikita nyo is etong two surfaces, this surface right here and this surface, which is this one and this one. So yung question ko ay yung medyo ko no na nagtataka ko kasi if wala tong lahat ng to, then that means yung buong to naputol. Parang to, kumbaga kinarve out siya. Which is hindi ko nakikita saan siya dito kinarve out. Ito. Tama, ito no. You think about it. If I were to complete this, okay. Medyo nagme-make sense na class, no? Itong buong to, yung ganyan, and I'm just trying to complete it, no? Mukhang ito yung kinarve out. Tama? Na-imagine nyo, if I were to remove this, no? Completely remove. Para siyang ganito. May isa kong piece na ganyan. Parang Toblerone na ni-remove from the glass box, no? I'm looking at from the glass box. So parang tinanggal ko yan at mukhang ito yun. Yung natanggal ng buo na yan. Nagets nyo ba? So ito, if you view it from this angle, ito siya na buo. So it makes sense siguro na kaya natanggal tong buong to because it is this one. Okay, sige. Medyo convinced na ako class na tama yung sagot natin. Okay. Parang nag-gets yung dilemma ko kanina and kung paano na-resolve. Sir can relate. Okay. So, yun know, usually appeal ko ang isa talaga sa mali kasi itong ko no. Kaya mahirap din tong parang sketching part no. Kasi ang ginawa ko kasi sa sketch ko, I made the mistake of parang hindi accurate yung mga proportions. So, ito kasi dapat nasa ito, pag kinontinue ko to, pag ganyan, dapat nasa gitna to. Midpoint dapat to, di ba? Kasi if you look at it, midpoint sila lahat. So, dapat, nandito dapat yan, pag ganyan. So, it makes sense na mas malaki yung parang tinapyas in a way, yung kinarve out. Pero dahil sa sketch ko na medyo rough lang, it appears na parang dapat konting part lang ang totally na remove, no? Pero dito, if I were to look at it, parang sobrang laki ng portion na ni-remove ko. When in fact, totoo naman talaga malaki pala yung na-remove na part. Okay, so I think we can proceed with the ARP2, no? This is correct. So, you can be like me, class, no, na parang medyo playing safe na rin, no? Kasi baka pagka, kunwari, nag-proceed ako sa ARP2, tapos imagine, no, kung nag-proceed kayo sa ARP2, tapos mali pala dito, then totally, ang dami nyo kailangan ulitin. Okay? So, kaya, okay na rin na you play it safe. You make sure, you make it absolutely sure na parang yung ARP1 nyo is correct na para at least pag nag-ARP2 kayo, your mistakes will be because of yung pag-project nyo sa ARP2 and not because mali pala yung basis nyo when you created your ARP1. Okay? Okay, so mukhang I think nag tama ba? Can we proceed? Everyone, parang would you agree na semi-sure na tayo na tama na tong sagot na to?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Arthur. And pa-thumbs up na lang kung okay tayo. Or okay with reservations. I believe in you. Sige, salamat sa trust, no? Sige, so let's proceed, no? I think we're on the right track. Malapit na. Tama naman siguro itong ginawa natin. Okay, so let's proceed. So, we have ARP1. So, kailangan na natin is ARP2, which requires na si ARP2. And if you did it correctly, no, dapat si ARP2, this is a view wherein walang mga overlapping, no? Ito pala yung mahirap, class, no? Whenever you have a view that has overlapping lines, usually may chance na talaga na hindi siya nagme-make sense because there are optical illusions that are at play, no? Dahil yun nga, naka-edge view yung ilang plane. So, hindi nyo makikita yung parang um, yung volume, kumbaga, hindi nyo nakikita yung ano ba term doon? Volumicity, kung if there's a term like that, no? Para ganun, yung pagka-volume ng isang object, parang mahirap i-imagine dahil doon sa mga overlapping lines. So if we were to do ARP2, I am quite sure na if we do ARP2 correctly from this view, dapat makikita natin or mariri-imagine natin tong original shape natin. Dahil ngayon, wala nang hidden lines dito or overlapping lines. Obviously, etong si O na to will be exposed in its true size, tapos makikita na natin yung planes natin not as an edge views pero as mga as planes, no? No, for shorten pero planes pa rin sila. So we should get something that looks like this. Okay? So I think it will work. So let's try. Diretso natin, no? So we do, again, we want to expose O in its true size. So therefore, gagawa tayo ng, Gagawa tayo ng, parang, nipis ng line. Okay. So gagawa tayo ng auxiliary reference plane that is parallel. Mukhang baka mali pala yung pinili natin, no? So I think ang intention yata ng gumawa nitong problem na to is dapat dito tayo sa HRP kumuha, no? Mukhang ang ano niya is baka nandito yung edge view tapos pa we work from here to here. Parang ganyan nata. Kasi ito, pero mukhang kasya pa rin naman. Ito, mangyayari is we move it here. So somewhere dito which may be overlapping. Pero okay, we'll live with that. Okay lang sa atin yon. Gawin natin is idikit na lang natin. So we do somewhere dyan. Sige, dikit pa natin. Closer, somewhere closer pa, no? So let's do somewhere closer, mga ganyan. Okay? Para sure tayo na pasok siya dito sa space na to. Okay? Tama ba? Okay. So let's do, sorry. Let's do focus muna tayo sa oblique palit, no? Yung distances natin, basis on distance. We do from from this reference plane. Siya binura. Okay, okay naman. Balik ka. Kaya ko naman. Buuin ulit na. Okay. Kaya siguro yan. Okay. So, gawin natin is yung first distance muna, no? Ito, focus tayo sa 1, 2, 3, 4 kasi yun yung ano natin. So, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, this is distance for 2. And notice na separate distances. Lahat ng points na yun, no? Si 1, 2, 3. Ito, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are totally unique distances na sila, no? Hindi tulad kanina na nag-point view yung ilang lines. Okay? Tama nga ba? Ito is si 1. Okay. Okay lang. So, 2 first. Let's do 2 first. So, 2 is this one. So, 2, 5. Somewhere dyan. That is 2. And then you have 0.3. Ito medyo matrabaho to class, no? Three. So 3 is this here. Somewhere dyan. This is 3. Then we'll do 4. Okay. 4. 3 and 4. So it's here. Hindi naman tatama. Mukhang okay. Safe tayo, guys. 4 is here. Tapos lastly, 5. What I can do is, para hindi ko nakokopyan yung distance, no? Since parang parallelogram siya, because in two of those views, parallelogram sila. So therefore, it's truly a parallelogram, no? Kasi 'di ba, you only need 2 views to prove that two lines are parallel, and therefore na-prove na natin na these lines are parallel, ito and ito, tsaka ito and ito. Therefore, parallelogram talaga tong ano. So I can proceed with just copying ito, copy ko na lang dito instead of using yung PRP ko as the basis for the distance of my point 1. No? Okay, so these are some of the little shortcuts you can do, class. No? Okay, so ito, this one. This is my, okay, so ito na si oblique plane O. Okay, makes sense? It's a parallelogram here, it's a parallelogram here, and it's a parallelogram here. Therefore, if I were to do an auxiliary reference, auxiliary view, dapat parallelogram pa rin siya. Never siyang, or kumbaga, hindi malulose yung parallelogram properties na. Okay? And mukhang ma-overlap natin ng konti pala to. Okay lang? Sige, okay lang. This is, okay lang yan. Okay, so next is continue tayo with, kahit plane by plane natin siya gawin. N1 muna tayo. So if we do N1, N1 is 211, 211, 3, and is it 12 or 13? 12. 211. Tama. 211, 3, and 12. Okay? Continue mo natin. So let's do 2. 11 is this one. 11. This is 12. Oop. 3 is here. Mayroon ng 3. 2, 11. Ano yung ulit yun? 2, 11, 3, and 12. Okay? So, we found 2. We found 3. Kulang na lang is 11 and 12. Tama? So, let's find 11 and 12. Okay. So, 11 is this distance. So, 11 is this one. This distance. 11. 12 is this distance. Oh. 12, which is this one. 12. Okay. Okay, it's starting to show class, no? Tama? Pero dapat... okay. Mali pala ginawa ko. Itong si 3, 12 is the same distance as 3, no? Tama? Tama. 12 is the same distance as 3. So, dapat parallel to. Okay, if I do pa ganyan. So, yan yun. Tama pala. Okay. So, yan. And 2 is the same distance as 11. Tama? Same pala sila. 2, 11, 3, and 12. Makes sense. So, pa ganyan. And if you look at it, the N1 makes sense as well, no? If you look at N1, ito, N1. N1 is sort of like a trapezoid, no? Wherein parallel tong dalawang line. Tapos ito, hindi sila parallel, no? So you can see na it retains that same shape, no? Na parang parallel. Tapos this line is longer than this line. You look at here, ganun din yung ano yung shape niya. Ito, dalawa parallel and ito longer line kumpara dito. So yun yung isang check class, no? Always look at planes, lalo na pag planes that are not, kung hindi sila naka-edge view or hindi sila naka tama, kung hindi sila naka-edge view, dapat naka-show sila in a view where it still retains parang yung proportions ng shapes nila, no? Okay? So if it looks like a trapezoid, then all throughout it should look like a trapezoid, pero medyo foreshortened lang siguro yung ibang views. So kunwari if it looks like a star, kung may shape kayo na looks like a star, a plane that looks like a star. If it's not shown in its edge view tapos pinakita siya sa ibang planes, it will still look like a star. Kung hindi siya mukhang star pa rin, ibig sabihin may mali sa projections nyo. So itong N1 na to, it still maintains its parang shape, no? Itong ganitong shape. Okay? So okay tayo. I'm confident with N1 and confident with O. Try natin hanapin itong B, no? Which is our back plane. So project natin ito. Project natin ito. Feel ko ang laki ng may tulong sana kung ginawa ko yung glass box, no? If I did the glass box here, mas mabilis ko siyang ma-imagine, no? Kasi kumbaga alam ko kasi yung shapes na to relative to the glass box, no? So for example, yung if I draw the glass box here, meron ako, kunwari may glass box ako na ganyan. Parang alam ko na etong point na to, kunwari itong si plane na to, it's somewhere around this corner, no? Itong parang corner ng glass box na to. Okay? So, parang mas madali sana na ma-imagine ko siya if I were, kung ginawa ko muna yung glass box before ko siya pinroject. Pero I've already projected. Parang medyo mahirap na ata. Balikan ko yung glass box. So, okay lang. Tapos parang eto, magigets ko rin na si N1 nakadikit siya sa glass box ko. So, therefore, if eto, um, dapat yung top ng glass box ko, somewhere dito siya. Okay? So, maganda sana kung nag-glass box ako. Pero okay lang. I can still imagine it. Actually, may imagine ko naman if I were to draw something like this. Ito na lang. This was something I used to do, no? Pero hindi ko na siya pinapakita actually sa final answer ko. Ito parang sketch out ko lang actually ito. Parang inaano ko siya ginaganito. And lagay ko sa new layer para pwede kong burahin na lang. So ito, minsan ginagawa ko to class, no? And you can maybe use this technique as well, no? So, mali, kulang pa pala to. Kasi hindi buo yung glass box, no? Hanggang dito dapat yung glass box, diba? Okay. So, hanggang dito kasi dapat yung glass box nito. Tama? Parang pa ganyan. Pa ganyan siya dapat. So, kung pag ganito ang glass box, dapat ito pa ganyan. So, dapat ang makikita ko dito sa view na to should be something like ganito. Okay? Parang ganito dapat. Ito dapat yung glass box ko. Tama ba? Hindi. Mali. No. Makikita kong glass box is something like pag ganyan. Ikot siya. So, kailangan pala to. Tama. Dapat ang makikita ko is something like parang ganito. Parang ganyan dapat yung view. Tama ba? Mahirap. Hindi, mahirap pala to. Malilito lang tayo sa imagination pag dinrawing natin. Pero in any case, okay na tayo sa O, okay na tayo sa N2. Tuloy lang natin. O and N2. Anong next natin? We found N2, which is supposed to be the top portion of the glass box. Tayo natin hanapin to si I, which is, itong I natin is yung inclined plane that follows, kumbaga, same siya ng angle with 2, 3. Ito siya. Ito si I kasi. Okay? So, hanapin natin siya. So, if this is 2, 3, si I, wait lang. Kasi binyo ko ng ganyan. So, si N1 dapat parang nasa ilalim na to. No. 2, 3. Okay. Mali pala. 1, 2 pala. I mean, okay pala. So, 1, 2. So, nandito dapat si I. Somewhere dito. So, let's find I. I is, let's look at it. I is made up of 1, 2, 11, and 1, 2, 11, and Is it 9 or 8? Si 9 kasi is at the middle. 8 is at the bottom, no? Tama? Ito yung bottom. The middle. So it's 9, 11, 1, 2. 1, 2, 9, 11. So hanapin natin is 9 and 11. 1, 2, 9, and 11. So 9 is the same point as 10. Ito. 9. So let's do 9 is located to 9 and 11. So 9 is 9. 9 is at the same edge as 8. 7, 8. So dito nga. Tama? Let me pause and think about it, class now. So we have, kasi hindi natin na-drawing si 9 dito. So ito si 9. Project it this way. Should 9 be actually also located here? Let's do two views away. 1, 2. That's 11. Distance is 8. Nasaan si 8? So dito si 9. Naka-point view pala to. Ha? Make sense ba yan? Wait lang, class ha. Hinahanap natin si 9 ngayon. So 9 and 10 is point view siya. So dapat true size siya dito. Tama? So ito si 9. Dapat. Is this supposed to be 9? Pero hindi. Inline siya sa 8. Mali ba tayong ginawa? Wait lang, class ha. Let's double check. So si 9. This is 9. Which is para nasa midpoint of, and it is the top left corner of N4. N4 in this view is edge view. So 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 na sigkod siya. Tama. 7, 8, 9, 10. Tama to. Tapos if I project it this way, imposible na 8 nandito. 8, this is not 8, no? 8 and 7 shouldn't be on the same, ano? So 1 is, si 8 should be, 8 is farther, no? So nandito siya sa 1, 2. Ilera ba niya si 1, 2? Si 12 pala to. Tama, nandito si 8. Kasama niya si 8 dito. So dito si 7 dapat nandito. Which means dito si 9. Tama? Tapos si 10 kasi sila. Tama, tama. So this is supposed to be 9. Ito. So if that's the case, then dapat I should be moving this compass here. This is where 9 should be located. This is 9. So it's same distance as 1. Tama ba? Same distance as 1 nga ba siya? Tama, same distance as 1. Okay? So dapat ito. So mali yung ano ko. May konting inaccuracy lang ako, no? Where did I get my 1? Tama naman. So, tama pala. Medyo may konting inaccuracies ng class. No? Kasi medyo larger na yung shape ko. Okay? Pero okay lang yun. That's okay. Pero it makes sense na dapat parallel sila. No? Kasi same lang naman sila ng ano. Let's just adjust it konti. No? Okay, so this is 1 and this is 9. So we have 9. We've already found 9. 1, 2, given 11 na lang kulang. So if we can find 11, we can have our ano no. And 11 is the same. Is it the same distance as 2? Tama, same distance as 2 siya. So this is actually 11. Okay? So we have found our incline. No? Ito siya. Okay? So it's taking shape naman class na. No? The oblique is taking shape. It has an incline here. It has N2 here. So we are looking at it from parang at a different angle na no dito sa top part. Okay naman. So hanapin natin si N3 naman ang next, no? Okay, so N3 is this one, 1, 4, and 10. Tama? It's 1, 4, and 10 because 10 is the middle portion. No? Itong 7, ito yung point na nasa base. Okay? So let's find it. We already have 1, 4. So let's find point 10. Point 10 is supposed to be here. So point 10, somewhere dyan. So let's find point 10. Point 10 is the same distance as this one. So point 10 is this. We use and then point 10 parallel siya sa ano. Okay, parallel siya sa 1 and 9. Okay. So if I were to project it, hindi pala tayo mag-overlap. Sakto lang. Ito na kasi yung farthest portion. No? So this is actually your point 10. So 1, 4, 10. We have found our N3. Ito. So it's beginning to take shape class, no? And just to illustrate, no? Ano ko na lang. Hindi pa to final answer pero I'm just drawing it in yellow para mas makita nyo readily, no? Yung shape na. And for the next few planes in yellow ko na lang din para mas ano, no? And ito siya. Okay? So, ano pang kulang natin? Are we finished? Hindi pa. Itong N2. Kailangan makita tong parang N2, no? N2 shape is quite weird if I could call it that, no? Para siyang ganito dapat. So we should see something that looks like this. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided shape. And this five-sided shape has a parang ano bang term nga dito? Has an interior angle or ano nga term dito? Nakalimutan ko yung term pero kumbaga has an interior angle that is greater than 180. Okay, so kaya parang naka-convex siya. Convex pa tawag dito. Or basta parang may part na nakapaloob siya. Okay? Kasi usually, ito ata ang isang convex shape, no? Wherein lahat ng shapes is, yung interior angle is less than 180. Ito ata concave shape patawag. Anyway, we will not double with, I don't know, definitions, pero we should have this sort of shape appear somewhere dito. Okay? So, yun yung ipapalabas natin. This shape is made up of 10, 4, 3, 6, no? 6 because 13 is at the back. Ito si 13. Dito, sorry. So, nasa likod nga siya. So, it's 10, 4, 3, 6, and ano ba to? Is it 7 or 8? it's 7 is this near point here. So it's 7. Tama? It's supposed to be 7. Okay? So, hanapin natin. So, 10 is already found. So, let's put a check mark lang. 10 is okay. 3, alam na natin kung saan yan. So, that's good. 4, okay na rin. 6, have we found 6? Have we found 6? Wala pang 6, no? So, we need to find 6 and 7. Yun yung kailangan natin. Tama? Okay, so let's find 6 and 7. 6 is this one. So let's take our compass. Oh, la. Buti na may control Z dito, no? So 6, let's find it. This one. 6 is parallel to 3. Okay, so... sorry, hindi siya parallel to 3. It's the same distance as... Actually, wala siyang... 4 yung ka-distance niya. So it should be this one. So what I can do is... Para lang class, and I'm doing this because I want my distances to be parang accurate, no? And dahil sa the nature of how itong Photoshop works, minsan nagkakamali ako kasi pag pinapalaki ko yung shape ko, lumalaki yung center point ko. So hindi na siya accurate. So para maging accurate siya, ang ginagawa ko na lang is naghahanap ako ng same distance na. So for example dito, I know that 4 and 6 are the same distance. That's why I draw a parallel line from 4 papunta sa 6. I hope that makes sense. So I draw 6. I have 6. So ito okay na si 6. Now I just need 0.7. No? I have 0.6. Let's find 0.7. And 0.7 is dito. Starts dito. And yung sino yung ka-equal distance niya? Si 8. 8. And 8 is not seen here. Okay, so parang si 7 is parang isang lone siya na no. Wala siyang ka-hilera, no? Dito. Parang si 7 at 8 lang yung magkaparehas. So, ito, in this case, kailangan natin talagang kunin ang distance ni 7. And mukhang, I believe, papasok tayo dun sa yun nga. Mukhang mag-approach tayo sa area noong given. Okay lang yun. So, mali yung napili natin. No? Pero it's okay. Wala namang issue doon. So, dito dapat si 7. Okay. So, let's connect the dots, no? We have 6. We connected with 3. 6 connected to 7. So, 3, 6, then 7. Then from 7, we have 10. Which is this 1.10. And you can see, it makes sense, class, no? Nakikita nyo ba? So, if I remove the given para mas malinaw. You can see na ito, this is the same 5-sided shape. Ito, you see this 5-sided shape, no? Ito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, na parang weird. Ito, it is the same 5-sided weird shape. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So, I'm confident na tama tong sagot na to. Okay? And mukhang dalawang lines na lang kailangan para mabuo to. And actually, ang kailangan lang is si N4. Okay? Itong N4 na to, this N4 is the missing piece, no? Para mabuo siya. So to find N4, ang kailangan natin is we already have 10 and 7. Ito siya, 10 and 7. So kailangan lang is 8 and 9. Ito, 9 is already found. 0.8 na lang kailangan talaga. 0.8 is this one, is this line right here. So let's follow this line. Send natin siya. And we know that 7 and 8 are the same distance, so I can just draw this line. And if I continue, then I've found my shape. And already kahit nakaano siya, no? Parang baliktad siya and grid, parang kumbaga construction lines pa lang nakikita na natin yung shape, no? Pero let's do the final answer. which will give us a very convincing na final answer. No? Okay. Continue this way. Connect this one. This one. Connect. Okay. And let me remove all of the construction lines now. You'll see na, if you look at this final answer class now, it makes a lot of sense. Tama? Parang kitang-kita yung shape niya. And we can actually compare it with our original shape now. Yung parang ano natin, sketch. This is our sketch. Sige, isolate ko yung sketch. No? Kaya ko pa ba i-isolate? Kaya pa, ano ko lang to. Kunin ko to. Compare natin doon sa taas. Tapos ikot natin. And you can see it's basically the same shape. No? Tama? So that's why I highly advise na before you start, kailangan kayo may ano kayo, may sketch kayo of what you are drawing no para at least guided yung ano nyo. Parang every stage guided kayo kasi may idea kayo kung ano yung final shape and it looks pretty good no if I say so myself. So makikita nyo na this plane, merong 1:1 correspondence of each of the planes no. This plane and this plane. Okay? So, despite the parang medyo nag-ano tayo, no? May part na nag-doubt tayo sa answers natin dito, especially dito sa ARP 1. No? At least in my part, no? I doubted the process, no? Parang dito medyo naging iffy siya para sa akin kasi I wasn't quite sure kung nagme-make sense to. Pero definitely when we arrived at the final answer, it really made sense na. Pero dito sa part na to, dito ako medyo nagdalawang isip na kung tama ba yung ginawa natin. And if we were to proceed, ang mangyayari ba is will we be able to find the correct answer if we use this as basis, no? And we pushed through and we eventually got the correct answer, no? Okay? Let me lower down the opacity of the ano, no, para mas makita nyo siya. Okay. So yan yung final answer natin. So maybe we chose the wrong ano pala no, PRP. But it was a good idea no na PRP yung kunin natin kasi we thought of ano no na parang ang mangyayari is we go this way and go this way, malaki yung space. Pero mukhang ang better route ata is HRP. Tapos baka ang mangyayari dyan is paganyan tapos paganyan. So malaki ang space dito. Pero regardless, we still got the correct answer. Na nag-overlap lang siya konti dito, no? Okay? So, okay ba tayo? Convinced ba kayo? First of all, are you convinced na ito yung tamang sagot? So, yung auxiliary? Okay naman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Arthur. And marami namang nag-check. And Heart, thank you for the validation, no? Pero, yun nga, that's why I always want to ask, kumbaga, actually, isa to sa favorite na ano ko class, no? Yung no na nung at least nung estudyante ako. Isa to sa favorite na lessons ko sa ES1 because yung final answer niya sobrang satisfying. So kumbaga once you made your shape tapos your shape is exactly what you imagined it to be tapos yung shape na na-produce nyo makes a lot of sense. Parang ano may sense of satisfaction siya. So I hope you also got that same sense of satisfaction, no? And that's why it's para sa akin, it's always important to ask the question, no, na does this shape make sense? Kaya paulit-ulit ko sinasabi during the lecture, no? Does the shape make sense? Kasi kung hindi, there is probably something wrong, no? Okay? So yun. Ito, can I say na this is a complicated shape? Na napapaisip ako, no? If it's a complicated shape or it's relatively average lang ba? Kasi kung average lang to, tapos para medyo mahirap siya gawin, no? Yung auxiliary view. Then lalo na pagka-complicated shape. Okay? At yung complicated shape na yun, merong mga hidden lines, mga ano pa, optical illusions. Yun yung medyo mahirap talaga class, no? When there are optical illusions dun sa solid object nyo, lalo kayong mahihirapan sa auxiliary view. So it's important na you get a good grasp of the kahit sketch lang. I highly encourage kung gusto nyo, pwede rin gawin nyo yung actual na multi-view nyo. It would also really help. Pero ang problem din sa doing the actual multi-view is, or I'm sorry, the actual isometric is, baka yung actual isometric merong mga hidden na or may mga optical illusions, no? So it's better na i-sketch out nyo siya kasi kung nag-sketch out kayo, pwede nyo kasing i-angle siya in such a way na naka-expose yung parang true volume or an approximate volume of the object, no? So kaya maganda mag-practice din kayo paano mag-sketch from multi-view, i-sketch nyo siya. Tapos from the sketch, makakatulong siya sa paggawa nitong Okay? We have 20 minutes and pwede sigurong I have one more problem actually, no? Tapos gusto ko ipakita sa inyo yung problem. Pero siguro hindi natin gagawin lahat. I'll leave it to you to answer it on your own. Pero pwede ko ipakita siguro yung initial stages lang, no? At least yung lang, parang sketching part tsaka yung yung most probable na planes na gagamitin natin. Or probable na direction ng planes na gagamitin natin. Okay? Okay, so this is the last part. Ito. Okay. So ito si plane A. We're looking for plane A and plane A appears in two views, no? Most likely, this is an oblique plane, no? Tama? This is an oblique plane, plane A. And let's try to sketch it out. So yun yung una natin gagawin. Let's sketch it out. Tapos if we sketch it out, we can see na this is, and I'll draw a rough sketch of it, no? This is how I imagine it. Para siyang ganyan. It's a cube pero naka-cut out yung Parang may, if you're familiar with crystallography, no? Parang yung 111 plane naka-cut out siya. May nagka-crystallography ba sa inyo? Hindi ko kasi alam yung year level nyo, no? Pero kung Mat-E kayo or Met-E, maybe you've heard of crystallography, no? Okay? So ito, parang ganyan. May 111 plane. Same tayo na imagination. A. Ito. So if you look at it, just a plane A, pull it, plane A. So sa top yun, ito most likely, parang ganyan. Tapos A. Ganyan yung top yun na. Okay? So, pag ganyan, then I think kasi symmetric to, you can go either way, no? Pwedeng you go this route or you go this route. I think same lang yung sagot na makukuha nyo. So, since it's an oblique plane, itong si plane A, therefore, two additional views yung kailangan natin dito, no? So, the first additional view is we want to take the a point view. Mayroon ba tayong true length dito? Do we have a true length? Actually, wala tayong true length. 3 views ata to. Tama ba? That makes sense. Kasi kailangan natin ng 2. Mas mahirap yun. So, we want to avoid that, no? No. Okay lang. this is a true length. Tama? So, hindi siya, kinabahan ako konti doon. So, mangyayari is, this is a true length because if we label this, no, mukhang for auxiliary, kung complicated shapes, notice class no na yung dito na shapes, itong first few shapes na ginawa natin, parang hindi na tayo nag-label at all, di ba? Parang hindi na nga tayo nag-label ng points yung 1, 2, 3, 4. So, purely based on parang understanding lang natin of the shape yung ginamit para makuha tong final shape na to. Tama? Pati dito. Pero dito, nung medyo nahirapan tayo imagine siya, nag-employ tayo ng mga system of points, no? Para mas methodical yung approach natin. Tapos ang nangyari is we eventually we eventually arrived at the final answer that made some sense, no? Okay? So dito, I'm not sure if you need, I think you can get away with just doing this normally without points 1 to 3, and maybe we can try, no? I think sa 15 minutes mukhang ito ata yung okay, ito pala yung simpler. Nauna pala tayo sa mahirap. So feeling ko matatapos natin to before mag 5:30. So try natin. So let's try to parang speed run this, no? Kung kaya ba natin. So if at any point may questions kayo, just raise your hand or i-interrupt nyo ako. Tapos i-try ko narrate lahat ng mga steps na gagawin ko, no? Okay, so I'm doing a auxiliary reference plane. Tapos i-ano natin. Draw tayo ng mga projection lines. And dito, this point right here, paint ko muna natin yung compass natin. Okay, so yung compass natin, and connect natin to para may basis tayo sa ano. Okay, so ito, copy this distance first. Ito muna, itong short distance. So it is this distance right here. So again, I can do a parallel line, no? Kasi equal lang naman yung distances ng mga yan. Tapos we'll do the long distance, which is if I do this, no? Ito. So this is the long distance. So, kumbaga, yun yung edge ng bounding box. Okay. Can do that. Okay. Tapos, yung point A natin, kasi parang magko-connect lang tayo dito, no? Point A, this is edge view, no? Ito. And this point right here should be located in this ano, no? Dito siya. So, ito yung point view na. Tapos, itong point na to, which is, if we think about it, no? Ito kasi yung edge view. This point right here is actually this point. So, nasa far edge siya. So, ito siya. Okay? Okay? So, ito, naka-edge view na actually si, ano. This is edge view of, this is A. It's played in its edge view. Okay? And I think, yun na yung ano niya, no? So, if ito, the object already makes sense to me. So, I'll do the final answer here. Nangyari dyan is, if I connect this one, up, and let's connect this one. So, A is in its edge view. Tapos, you can see that etong plane na to is this plane right here. Ito. Tapos, etong side na to is this side right here, yung nasa likod. So, isa siya sa kumbaga, a complete face of the cube. Okay? Tama? Let's think about it for a while, no? Kung tama ba? Tama naman. you can see na ikot natin ng ganyan. Okay. Okay. So, ang gagawin naman natin is we create the edge view, no? The true size, I mean. So, if we were to create the true size, gagawin natin is we create a parallel reference plane na ganyan. Or we can also, gusto natin, pwede din tayo mag-parallel view dito, no? Pero malayo ata. Tapos, yung likod yung makikita natin. Kumbaga, maharangan siya ng tong part na to. Tama? So, mas maganda na dito tayo pumunta para yung edge view mag-expose siya na nakaharap talaga sa atin. Okay? So, ito. And dito. Since konti lang yung details ng ano na to, no? Parang konti lang yung projection lines that matter, no? Okay? Okay. So, let's do, nasaan na tayo? Itong edge view, hanapin natin. Itong point na to, this is this point, no? Tama? This point and this point. Because that's the true length. So, ito, it should be located. Let's use a compass. It's located this distance away. This one. Tapos, yung further distance, which is the other point of this line in its point view, no, is this one. So, if I were to draw it dito, dapat mahanap ko na yung point view. Yung true length. Ito, from here to here. That's my, let me draw yellow. Sasanapin ko na lang itong point na to. Which is, if I'm not mistaken, equilateral triangle yung lalabas dito. Okay. So, ito, wait, dito ko. So, 1, 2. So, dito pala, sorry. Ito yung basis natin. So, ito yung other point na yan. No? Ganyan. So, ba yung parang apex ng triangle na yan. So, this is the equilateral triangle. Okay. Tapos, let's complete the, I don't know, parang mga sides niya. So, ito, this point is just this one. Tama? Which is this distance away. So, let's draw that. It's equal. Equal siya na distance from the first. So, nasan yun? So, nasa loob siya. So, kumbaga siya yung, sa likod to actually. Ito class, no? Ay, may konting mali tayo dito, no? Hindi tayo nag-hidden lines class, no? Dapat, although wala atang hidden, may hidden lines pala dito. So, yung hidden line dito is yung pag ganyan, no? Hindi ko na din drawing pala. Yung nasa likod. Sorry. Dapat may hidden lines pa siya na dito, pag ganyan. Tapos pag ganyan. Tama? Pero the question is, does auxiliary views require hidden lines? Let me double check, no? Kasi, alam ko, minsan hindi na siya kailangan, no? Does it require hidden lines? It still requires hidden lines. Okay. Double check my notes. It still requires no hidden lines. So therefore, kailangan nyo pa siyang i-ano. No? So yun pala yung mahihirap na part. No? Kasi mahirap na nga yung object. Tapos kailangan pa ng hidden lines. Buti sa isometric, hindi na kailangan ng hidden lines. Okay, so ang final answer dito should contain the hidden lines. No? I can probably clean up the hidden lines more. No? Pero siguro before I send it to you guys, ipapakita ko na yung cleaned up version. No? Dapat may hidden lines. So dito, may hidden lines ba? I think walang hidden lines na kasi nag-overlap yung kasi yung solid lines and hidden lines dito. Kaya I think there is no opportunity for hidden lines dito sa part na to. Okay? So let's continue on with dito, no? So ito, this is from this point. Tapos hanapin natin to, which also connects to check. Okay. So ang next natin is bakit ko kinonect yun? Hindi ko pala kinonect yun. Hinanap ko lang tong point na to. Okay. Okay. Tapos hanapin natin tong base na to, no? Itong parang square na to. So, we have this point. Hanap na natin. Ito siya. This one is, sorry. Ito yung edge view. Ito na lang muna hanapin pala natin. Mas maganda kung itong triangle na to, no? Kasi nakadikit siya sa isa sa natin. Line, which is this one. Okay? So, ang kulang na lang natin is this one. Okay? So, hanapin natin siya. So, this point right here is the base of this one. Ito siya. Ay, no. Mukhang kailangan natin mag-label din ng points dito, no? Mas madali. So, kahit yung 1, 2, 3 lang. Ito. Okay. So, para lang hindi tayo malito, no? So, this is 2, 1. This is 3. Okay. So, if this is 2, 1, this is the base. Then this triangle right here is this triangle. Dito. No. This is 2, 1. This triangle right here is actually edge view siya dito. Tama? So, ikot siya ng ganyan. Tama. That is this edge view right here. So, kung i-drawing natin, ito actually siya. Para siyang nasa likod, no? Okay. Sa likod siya. If I were to continue this, parang ganito lang siguro ang shape nito, class, no? Kasi this is a cube. Ang mangyayari lang is, actually, if you think about it, parang it starts off, if you remember yung glass box technique natin, no? Parang ang mangyayari lang dito is, we'll end up with a view wherein yung glass box natin is naka-shape siya like this, no? Parang ganyan. Wherein yung gitna nitong corner na to, this corner right here, is also the same point if I were to draw the box, no? Parang kunwari ganyan. This will be shown in a view, and this is one of the shortcuts I can do, no? If this were the wireframe of the glass box, etong point na to will coincide with this point. So nakatingin ako directly at ano, no? Kasi naka-true size kasi ito eh. So ibig sabihin, directly perpendicular ako nakatingin dito sa plane na to, which means na etong point to point na to will be shown in its point view, no? So kaya nagla-line up talaga siya. So if nagla-line up siya, mukha siyang ganito, no? Parang ganyan. Ganito yung itsura ng glass box ko. Tapos, ang nangyari kasi is ito, puputulin natin. Tama? Puputulin kasi natin to. Kasi, di ba, parang itong part na to, kumbaga parang quote-unquote, machine out natin siya. Hindi, baliktad. Hindi siya ganyan. Pag ganyan, wala. Sorry. Ganyan. So, ang machine natin is parang pa ganyan. So, ito, we are looking at it actually from the parang rotated na view siya. Tama? Okay? Kasi si 1-3, si itong 2-3, parang pa ganyan pala yung rotation niya. Okay? So, if may parang, ano ba tawag dito? May, ano kasi ito, no? Yung tinatawag na threefold symmetry. So, kaya kong hulaan na parang magiging ganyan yung shape niya, no? Ito, pag ganyan. Although, you can confirm this by doing, ano, no? Pero, most likely, ito yung magiging final answer niya. Parang ganyan. Tapos, yan. Ito yung, kumbaga, hidden lines to. And since 5:30 na, hindi ko na mapapakita ninyo. Pero, mangyayari is, ang final answer nito is, and I can show you the final answer later on, no? Sa pag sinend ko to sa inyo. But you can do it on your own. Pero, most likely, ang magiging sagot nito. And, eto, medyo dahil lang sa parang understanding ko of the cube, no, and how it is shaped. Pero, magiging ganito yung final answer niya. Tapos, broken lines. So, let me just connect this. Parang ganito, no? Ayan yung final answer. Okay? Tama ba? Parang hindi nag-make sense. Wait. Nag-make sense siya kanina. I think I probably did something wrong here. Anyway, correct ko na lang to kung ano man yung naging final answers niya, no? Tama ba? Puputulin ko. But, tama naman. Wait. Ito kasi, baliktarin ko na nga to para same siya sa shape. Okay. Same ba? Same naman. Okay, same naman yung shape. Okay. Kaya pala. Pwede. Ano ulit nangyari? Tama. Roughly ganito yung shape, no? Pero I'll have to double check the hidden lines, no? Kasi Fico may mali akong ginawa sa hidden lines. Pero most probably ganyan yung shape class. Yun lang. I think it really helps na ano, no, kung magle-label kayo ng points. Makakatulong siya sa lalo na pag nag-ARP2 na kayo. Feel ko ARP1 okay lang kahit hindi na mag-points, no? Kasi until ARP1 parang madali lang ma-detect kung nasan yung points. But once you proceed with ARP2, parang nakakalito na kung which points belongs to which plane. So I suggest na kung abot na sa point na mag-ARP2 kayo, really do be vigilant in adding the different na points na kailangan. So yun lang siguro. That's our final lesson for today, no? Hindi pa rin ako convinced sa final answer. Burahin ko na lang kasi hindi ko malito. Parang may something off sa kanya na hindi ko ma-pinpoint, no? Kasi parang nakalabas yung plane na to, which shouldn't be the case, no? Kasi ganyan siya. So kung puputulin ko siya, ayun, parang may something's off. So burahin ko na lang kasi nababother ako. Hindi yan yung final answer pala, class. I-send ko na lang yung final answer. Pero this should be the correct na ARP1. No? Kailangan na lang natin is the ARP2 view. I'll send it as soon as I finish it. No? Pero anyway, this is the final lecture. So I hope you had a wonderful time sa ES1. Kahit medyo mahirap siya, no? Pero I hope you learned a lot. Tapos medyo may appreciation kayo for mga objects in space. And sana nakita nyo yung parang potential na application nito sa course nyo, no? Kasi I know kung may mga triple M students dito, ES1 has a large contribution sa yung the field of crystallography kasi once nag-crystallography tayo, sobrang laki ng tulong na i-imagine natin yung objects in space, no? So, crystallography is used sa sa EM, sa MAT-E, saka MET-E. So, ES1 helps us a lot. Tapos sa mga non-triple M naman, I think sa ME, I think this is also very useful, no? Sa mga triple E, hindi ko alam yung particular na application niya. I'm not quite sure. Pero for the rest of the engineering, most of the engineering, lalo na pagka you are dealing with engineering drawings, yung meron kayong mga plans na sinasubmit schematics, engineering ES1 is always helpful, no? So I hope you can find a way to relate this to your course and you found an appreciation for engineering 1. And eventually, kung kayo, when you learn CAD on your own, you can still go back to some of the principles taught in this course, no? So, thank you again sa wonderful SEM. I'm really happy actually sa the way the class went kasi marami sa inyo na very active, no? Tapos nagpo-provide ng feedback which made the teaching of the course a lot easier on my side, no? So, I hope I did parang nagawa ko naman yung job ko as a teacher para matulungan kayo sa sa pag-imagine sa course na to kahit medyo mahirap kasi remote tayo na setting. I hope yung mga lessons na binigay ko remotely was enough to parang at least help you with your journey sa ES1. No? Okay, so thank you and I'll see you. Kailan ko ba kayo magkikita? I'll see you next time if ever my courses kayo under me. Yung mga METI, surely makikita ko pa kayo.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you po for the same.
Okay.
Thank you po, sir.
May triple ME 14 sa Wednesday. Yes, meron triple ME 14 sa Wednesday.
Thank you po, sir.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming today.
Ingat po kayo.
Ingat kayo lahat. And sana you perform well sa MR 5 and 6. Medyo nakita ko na yung exam.
Pero may MR6 pa?
Meron yata eh.
Sir, di ba po siya required?
Required siya. Kasi ang may concern pala kasi may iba ata nakapansin sa inyo na naka-zero yung weight niya. Tama ba?
What?
Opo.
Kaya siya zero yung weight sa gradebook. Parang remnants lang yun from the previous sem, no? Kasi last sem kasi kinulang ng oras. So, ang ginawa nila is tinanggal nila yung 5 and 6 kaya siya naka-0. Pero ngayon, okay naman yung oras natin. Kaya pa natin mag-MR 5 and 6. Babagawin yun eventually. Parang lalagyan ng weight yun. So, yun. Abangan nyo lang MR 5 and 6. I've seen the exams. Medyo mahirap. So, i-prepare nyo na lang sarili nyo mentally. No? So, try to schedule your time appropriately na maglaan kayo ng oras para sa subject na to. Para sa MR 5 and 6. I wouldn't say super difficult siya.
Mag-explain, di ba po?
Ano yun? Sorry?
Wala naman na pong kailangan na explain this and that kung bakit ganyan and ganon.
Hindi ko pwede sabihin, no? So, hindi ko alam kung pwede kong sagutin yun. Pero anyway, wala akong sinabi. So, parang ang ano ko lang is advice ko, hindi siya super hirap pala. Let me correct that. Tedious siya. Tedious. Yun yung ano ko. Which is yung theme naman ng yung last lesson. If you notice sa last lesson natin, may konting complexity pero more tedious siya. Tama ba? More tedious than complex. Siyempre may element of complexity talaga sa auxiliary view pero I believe parang mas talaga, mas malaki yung factor na tedious siya rather than complex siya. So, yun yung nakikita ko. So, for you to perform well sa MR5 and 6, I think you should prepare yourselves na yung magtabi na kayo ng oras for MR5 and 6 na 100% focus kayo. Yun lang suggestion ko. Okay?
Yes po.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, before we end the call, meron bang questions, mga special concerns na gusto niyo i-clarify?
Sir, sa plates 29 at 30 po, hindi na po yun kailangan lagyan ng explanation, di ba?
29 and 30. Meron bang instruction to write an explanation? Alam ko hindi eh. Kasi,
Wala naman po.
Wala po, sir.
wala na yun kasi paano mo naman i-explain? Wala ka na atang kailangan i-explain doon eh. The answer itself is an explanation, no?
Po, sir. Sige po, sir. Thank you po.
Sir,
Okay.
prof din po ba kayo ng ES101 at ES26?
Ay, hindi. Hindi ako. May ES26 ba kayo? Wala ata. Triple M ID. O nga, may ES26 kayo.
Sa second year first sem po, sir.
Ay, hindi. Hindi ako nagtuturo ng mga ganyan ng ES. Gusto ko sana magturo pero right now, parang since relatively new subject siya, parang ano bang term? Hino-hoard? Wait lang. Stop recording ko muna. Stop.